You're all set.
Thank you, Lauren. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call to order Reynolds School Project Building Committee. It is July 6th, 2023. It is 5:18. Lauren, could you do the roll call for us, please?
Chairman Woods,
Here.
Dr. Fletcher,
Here.
Amy Parati,
Here.
Jeremy Wetzel.
Oh,
Here.
and Carol Dugan's here. Lauren, she's on the attendee side. Can you bring her over?
Oh, Leah, let me move her over. All right, Carol Duggan. Carol, can you hear us?
She's here visually.
Yeah, she's still connecting. Carol, can you hear us?
Weird things. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, next is public participation. We have no members from the public. Next item is take action on prior meeting minutes. We have one, the meeting of Thursday, June 15th. So I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I make a motion.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Fletcher. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion, anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item is take action on potential change orders. Rich?
All right, we have a few here for tonight. And the first one is PCO 104, D-Wing Corridor D101, roof drain beam penetrations to make the roof pitch work for the new drains. To be able to pitch the drainage pipe within the corridor, we needed to stay up the ceiling, and the way to do that was to go through some existing roof steel beams. So there was a cost to have those holes cut into the beams and added supports into the beams for structural reasons. For PCO 119 is the B-wing roof drain. We are reusing the existing the risers that were in the walls in B-wing for the old roof drains. The original drawings that we had called for them to be repiped through a new location and redone under the slab. Plumber had offered up a credit, as once we did the demo, we discovered that those risers were clean, no sediment in them, and we were able to reuse them and save some money for the projects. There is a credit coming back for that. For PCO 121, this is a CM contingency item. We're using that for to provide some temporary window shades in the nurse's office that was requested in the this past spring when the students were still here to get some shades in there till the final details are all worked out. PCO 124 is for B-wing shade soffits. The existing conditions in there did not allow for everything to fit up high, so there's a alternate detail that brings the shade pocket down further. It also brings the shades inbound of the WTs, so it's further inbound in the classrooms, which means that there is less quantity of shades. Instead of having some classrooms having up to 8 shades, they'll have, I believe it'll be 4 now. So there's less shades in the event of a lockdown that would need to be pulled, and it also limits the line of sight into the classroom when those shades are down. The angles are blocked by the window mullions and the drywall, so I was a request through the security that those be included for limiting sight lines into the room in the event of a lockdown. For PCO 124, B-wing, 127, the fire marshal has requested that we include additional sprinkler control valves. Right now, the only control valves that were on the existing sprinkler system, which were to remain, are down in the crawl space underneath the lobby slab. So that lobby slab is actually elevated anywhere between 3 feet and 5 or so above a dirt floor down underneath. And that area is where the sprinkler comes into the building. The fire marshal requested that we do some work to relocate those valves up to a more accessible location. So that there were some additional costs for additional valves included here. PCO 128, during the demo, it was discovered there's a roof edge angle. This is at the north and the south ends of B wing. So part of that was that we can't take those angles out. So what we're going to do there is clean up the area and paint the angles to match. So there is an additional cost to do that as unforeseen conditions. In PCO 134, we had purchased the kitchen equipment disconnects through our kitchen equipment vendor. The kitchen equipment vendor needed to contract with a licensed trade, being the HVAC plumber, and getting everything disconnected. So this is just a simple budget transfer. We're taking credit away from the kitchen supplier and paying it to the plumber and the HVAC contractors to make those disconnects happen. So no additional cost to the project on that. Any questions?
Thanks, Rich. Any questions for Rich? Seeing and hearing none, I would entertain a motion that we approve PCOs 104, 119, 121, 124, 127, 128, 134, in the amount of $21,829.65.
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Fletcher, and seconded by Amy. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Lauren, make sure that the record shows that Mike Camillo joined us, I think, a minute or two ago. Our next item is take action on invoices. Eileen or Lauren or both?
Hopefully you can see those.
Yeah. Well, you can see the cover sheet.
We have 2 invoices to approve this meeting, IES and KBA, and they've both been approved by Eileen.
The KBA is the architect and IES is stormwater.
Just trying to find them. No, I printed them.
And scroll down.
There you go. So KBA is just their monthly pay rec, which has been signed and approved by Eileen from Construction Services Group.
Mhm.
And IES, help me again, who's IES?
Sorry, commissioning agent.
Oh, the commissioning agent. I always get those guys confused with a demo contractor.
Water.
Yeah, so both of these are budgeted items within our ongoing budget. So I would entertain a motion that we approve these 2 invoices for payment. And can you go back to the
It's up there.
in the amount of $18,072.45. Someone can move that for me?
So moved.
Thank you, Amy. And a second?
A second.
Who was it, Carol? I think so. Thank you, Carol. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Architects update. Well, Jennifer, I know you've been busy because I was just there. There's
Yes,
something going on at every end of that building,
Yeah,
in the middle.
obviously the contractors are, busier out there than I am, and I felt for them a little bit today. It was hot and humid. And I was out there for quite a bit this morning. So we do continue to visit the site, answer requests for information from the contractors, which continue to come in. There have been a lot of existing conditions that are uncovered as demo happens. So there's had to be a lot of attention on that in that regard from our structural engineer in particular. He's spent a lot of time dealing with revising details and looking at some existing conditions. So that work is ongoing. Very few submittals at this point, but occasionally we do have submittals. One was returned today. And we continue to review the applications for payment. So that might happen your next meeting. We just reviewed Pencil Rex recently, and all of the potential change orders continue to come our way to review and question, if we have any concerns, we go through that as a team with Newfield and CSG. And we reviewed reviewed all of those PCOs, those potential change orders that you approved earlier. Those had all been reviewed by us and the whole team. And we had recommended those for approval. We've already signed off on those. And that's it. It's just busy, a lot of questions and a lot of things to look at because there's a lot going on.
Any questions for Jennifer from anyone? Thank you, Jennifer, and thanks
welcome.
for paying close attention to what's going on out there. I know it's a lot right now, but we do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Next item is owner's project manager update. Eileen?
All right, so as Jennifer stated, it's very busy out there. I actually met Steve and we went for a walk this afternoon, met Rich out there and Newfield as well. There's a lot of demo and site work in progress. We didn't get to walk through the B wing, but B wing is currently on schedule and the interior finishes are gonna start very soon. The Shonox floors look great. So I'm sure Rich has some updates, some pictures that I'll show you. I've also been speaking with Jason Smith today to follow up on any concerns or notes that he has since we moved. We're gonna start the move meetings up again next Thursday. And then I speak to Lou and Jason Plum as well with any issues that come up and try and coordinate that between Newfield, KBA, and myself. So definitely the site is torn up. The front parking lot still remains, but also today, another thing I had to do was we got some, the testing agent sent some reports out and there's not quite enough information on there. So just following up and contacting them, making sure that they add additional pictures and markups to their drawings. So the team can see exactly what's going on and know what the results are. We have our weekly meetings, like Jennifer said, to coordinate and get replies quickly so Newfield can stay on schedule. You saw there's only a couple invoices this week, but next time there should be several more invoices, and I'm still waiting for the move invoice from Meyer. The other thing, just processing infos, PCOs, keeping up with the budget. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Eileen, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Rich, construction managers update.
Yep, just like Eileen and Jennifer have said, we have a lot of work going on site, all different stages of construction right now. So the first photo you should be seeing here, this is the west elevation of B Wing. So B Wing is our phase 2 work. These classrooms will be opened up for this this fall when the students come back. This is obviously the farthest along out of everything we're working on actively right now. So since the last meeting, the glass has all gone in, aside from a few that are this security glazing that is going to go in the next couple weeks. But most of the glass is in B Wing. The operable windows are also in. The first phase that we did, which is the C Wing, which is everything at the top of the ramp, as well as the admin space, they also have operable windows. The reason those didn't go in with the first phase was they had a long lead time. So those were on the punch list. Those are going in actively this week as well. So we do have some work going on in the first phase that we turned over for punch list, as well as getting ready to start some finishes here in B Wing. B Wing from the courtyard side as well, metal panels are complete. A large majority of the glass is in. You can see the rooftop units are in. They're currently getting their final connections done, getting ready for a factory startup over there. Inside B Wing, we've started the prime and first coat of the walls is completed. So first coat of paint gets on, that allows the ceiling grid and the wall angle for that to be installed. Once we can get the ceiling grid in, which we started this week, the diffusers are going in, as well as the light fixtures. So the classrooms on the courtyard side are largely looking like this right now. Ceiling grids going in, and immediately following behind them are the HVAC and the electrical contractor to complete any of their above ceiling work. So these rooms are ongoing. Like I said, first coat of paint is on. This is over on the west side of B Wing. The final third coat of tape is going on the drywall. As you can imagine, with the humidity we've had, it's been tougher to dry out the tape. So it's been taking an extra day or so for the mud to dry on these walls. We do have the painter scheduled to come back in here next week. He'll get his prime and first coat on these walls as well, and the ceiling grid will start here. So flowing crew through B Wing right now as we go. We can go over into, this is the back wall of the stage is on your left side. The music room is on the right side. So this area went into demo this summer. You can see a large majority of the mechanicals above ceiling have been demoed. Well, what's left in here are the new boiler loop lines, the heating lines that are in place, as well as the existing sprinkler lines, which are to remain. So everything that's scheduled to be demoed out of the ceiling was demoed out. The existing that is to remain is being protected. The caution tape that you see here is being used to flag any of the live wires, that's communication wires, fire alarm wires that can't be demoed out. So our contractors are responsible for flagging these to make sure that the demo contractor doesn't come in and remove those. So I think the last time you guys saw pictures from here, there was still, we had just started the demo. So you can see beam pockets up on the top of the walls at the roof level. We've cut in every other beam pocket right now. There's new steel beams that'll be slid in between all the bar joists in this corridor. 12 new beams going in. So we've cut in this area for the structural steel work to occur. There's a large amount of steel work going on in this phase, and structural work going on to reinforce this structure. So looking at the stage from the cafeteria onto the stage, again, you can see these beam pockets. So we'll be sliding a beam into these, filling 2 cells deep and 2 cells wide of masonry with grout to support those and filling these areas back in. Once these 6 that are in this area are completed, we'll come back and cut in between every other one again, to put the rest in. And again, we do have the stage protected here. The stage does get refinished. The stage area turns back over in October, but the corridor behind it is expected for the fall when the students are back. Over in the main lobby, we have 3 new skylights that go in. So there's going to be a new ceiling in here. The concrete won't be exposed anymore like it was during the construction. So we've cut in through that. It's a 7-inch concrete roof slab. We've cut that in, and we have new framing going in to support the skylights. That has been a large amount of coordination there. And we were hoping for a few days here of good weather to make it work, just because these areas need to be open and we got to protect the new roof insulation above from getting wet. So we're kind of monitoring the weather, making sure everything stays dry up there. And we get a good solid 4 days here for them to complete this work and keep everything dry. Going back to what I said before, we do have a large amount of structural reinforcement. So this is inside the cafeteria. All of the paint that was on these walls and all the furring that was there has been removed. The paint was PCB containing, so it was blasted off with an abrasive blaster. And then in between these 2 columns, we've actually taken the face off of the CMU block that makes up this wall. We go through here, we grout solid cells vertically every 1 foot and horizontally every 4 feet. So the mason will be in here reinforcing this wall. There's also structural steel reinforcement going on the columns on the right side here. Plate reinforcements up top as well as new C-channels running around the entire perimeter at the roof level on the inside, just under those white beams that you can see. So large amount of steel going on. You can also see up hanging from the roof deck, we have plumbing roof drains going in as well for the new roof. So we are working through roofs in all of these areas as well at the same time. We've got another shot here from the cafeteria. We do have the spiral duct here. That spiral duct will end up being exposed in this ceiling. So we did have to take delivery of that. We're getting ready for, as soon as all the demo completes and the structural work is done, we can start with our mechanical roughing to get this area turned back over. If you recall, there was a chimney out on coming from the boiler room all the way up. This was going through the kitchen area by the start of the servery line. That's since been demoed, everything above the roof level. We're working our way down with that, keeping the roof sealed as we go down. The demo contractor is also working through what is stage 4 for us, which is the E and F wing. This is the wing that faces, it's the opposite of B wing across the courtyard, going towards it faces the bus loop. So that area is now going under asbestos abatement. We do have asbestos pipe elbows in there. So this is inside the containment. So these will be the asbestos here is going to be removed in the next few days as well. E and F wing, we have done the exterior walls are removed, as well as the interior block walls have been removed as well. A lot of existing conditions going on over there. We did have the structural engineer and Jennifer out here to look at a lot of these walls, and the structure here is a bit different than it was over in B wing. We did end up having to change out these walls that were going to be masonry to remain, and they're going to end up with a stud wall. So we're working through the pricing exercise on that as well. But the walls that were there were definitely unsuitable to remain. You could shake them by leaning against them. We were concerned about those, so we did stop all work in that area for the day and brought in the structural engineer to review and working with the design team for the resolution on that. Again, the exterior wall demo on the courtyard side of E and F wing. When it comes to the site in the lower parking lot, this was part of the staff parking. Last year is now part of the detention system for the stormwater management. So this area will all get paved back over this summer, but we had excavated down, installed a detention system, and have that piped going back down towards Fen Road where it's going to exit the site. And then up in the north lot, this was a temporary asphalt sidewalk for this past year. That's going to go to a concrete sidewalk. So we do have our site work contractor has a sub that's doing all the flat work for him, being the sidewalks. He's mobilizing today and getting started on a lot of these. So we are working with the design team on getting them a couple mock-ups too as we go for the tactile warning strips. And again, just kind of working all over the site at this point. So we're in several different phases. We do have some finishes starting up next week, like I said, over in B-Wing for the painter, as well as mill work going on. So we're definitely staying busy this summer. Anybody have any questions?
Anyone? Yes, Amy?
Yeah, I don't have a question, but just want to say that these pictures are great, and it's really cool to see all the work that's being done. Like, you weren't lying, Jennifer, when you said there's a lot going on earlier. So just, it's pretty cool to see, and thank everyone for their hard work, especially during these summer months. It's got to be pretty hot over there.
Yeah, there's no air conditioning.
Okay, thanks, Rich. Any other business pertinent to the committee? I know we need to encumber some funding for the purchase of cafeteria tables, correct? Which we have
Yes.
in our budget. In our
All right.
FY budget.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
share my screen for a minute, Steve?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so I know we encumbered the money for all the furniture. Our furniture budget is 534,500. And we're coming up a little bit short on money for the cafeteria table. So Lou generously purchased 12 tables for us, just under $40,000. So currently we need a purchase order for the remaining amount of tables for $24,957.36, and we will remain on budget.
Okay, so do we need a motion for this, Laura? We have this money already encumbered in our budget for FF&E. We'll just make
But
one
we need
guess.
to put a purchase order.
Yeah. So this way, all right, I'd entertain a motion that request a purchase order to Robert Lord for $24,957.36 for cafeteria tables. Do we know how many that's buying?
Yes, so
Eight
it's 20 and Lou purchased 12, so we're purchasing, sorry, eight additional.
Okay.
Yep.
So for the purchase of 8 cafeteria tables, if somebody could move that.
A motion.
Thank you, Carol. In a second.
Second.
Second by Amy. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The only other thing that we have in other businesses, Jeremy and a couple of people had questions. I had the design team with Newfield go back over that wall. We had some questions on the credit. I can get you a detailed report, but basically the wall is somewhere around $33,000 for just that wall that we see that no one is really happy with. but structurally it's sound. So the $10,000 credit that the contractor is giving us back works out to be somewhere between 30 and 35% of a credit back on that wall. If you guys are okay with that, I'll have them present that change order at the next meeting, which is be the first Thursday of August. No, sorry, third Thursday of July. Do you want me to have, I can have Eileen email that to everybody so you can kind of review it? That sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that then. All right.
Okay.
And thank you, Steve, for looking into it and determining that discount. Thank you.
Yeah, actually Eileen and Rich get the credit, not me. All I did is the asking.
Thank you guys both, Rich and Eileen.
Brings us back to public participation, which we have, I believe. Where's my public? Here we go. None. Comments by members? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Dr. Fletcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
See you in
you.
2 weeks.
Thanks,
night.
everyone.
Thanks.